So first, our context in domain, and probably the most immediate question is, what is a modernized cloud environment? And so if you think about the evolution of the industry, um, if you've been around for a little while, everything started with physical servers, where companies had physical servers, racks of servers, where they ran everything on-prem. And then sometimes that shifted to data centers or co-location data centers where they had racks and racks of servers. And that shifted to when virtualization was introduced. And again, all of this is still on-prem, where they've got all their technology, all their compute, either on the same location as their offices or parallel in data centers, etc. But then the public cloud appeared with AWS and now Azure and Google Cloud, the major cloud providers, as well as the smaller ones that are available around the world. And so what we now have is a lot of companies, especially the larger ones, have a mix of on-prem. They still have on-prem technology, typically virtualized, not as much physical servers anymore, but combined with cloud compute of some sort. And so you have a mix of these compute technologies in different locations. And in the even more recently, we have edge computing, whereby companies, organizations that have different physical locations, it could be retail stores, it could just be businesses around North America or the world, and they're servers that sit in these different separate offices or different locations. Example could be a retail restaurant that has a server and could be running a Kubernetes cluster, powers the point of sale, order management, and things like that. So we really live in a very modern environment with a range of infrastructure. And so with that infrastructure, you think about what are the types of applications we're running. And I highlight here brownfield versus greenfield. And if you're a developer and you've been around for a while, greenfield projects were often a lot more fun because you're making all the decisions up front. You don't have any history on the project. You get to pick the infrastructure, the tech stack, and you make all those decisions and iterate as you move forward. But the reality is there's a lot of brownfield applications still out there. And brownfield applications are existing applications, often business critical, that have decisions that were made in the past, and a lot of good ones, but there's also often a lot of tech debt where there's bad ones or where decisions were rushed, or we just made mistakes and we learned lessons, but you still have to live with them and you don't have time to go back and fix them. And so brownfield applications often are still running on-prem or a mix, and where they're running on virtual machines, monoliths, different architectures, and they are the candidates for app modernization. Even a broader organizations are now entering into IT transformations. We hear that from a lot of our customers, where they're all embarking on IT transformations, even now in 2024, where they're still taking some of the infrastructure and doing lifts and shifts to public cloud or various other projects. But they're trying to make those older systems more maintainable, more flexible, and allow themselves to move forward and innovate.
Rob, I want to touch on the brownfield and greenfield analogy, just for people that aren't familiar with why that matters. In every greenfield project, you start it fresh, it can become a brownfield project in just a few months if the right things are not done in order to keep quality high and keep the software stable in production as being deployed. And brownfield systems can be made green again. It's all about flexibility. And the analogy, a green field, when you have a green field, a green pasture, you have a lot of flexibility with ranching. You can have any kind of number of animals on there. But when you have a brown field, the grass is not as lush. You don't have as much flexibility. Yeah, you may have some goats on there or fewer cows per acre, but you can use the field. You just don't have as much flexibility. But if you can change the nature of your field and make it green again, well, now your flexibility goes up. So if you can fix the environment of your software system, now you have more flexibility. And so just starting, oh, I want to start something new, therefore it's greenfield. Well, if you don't have the right practices, it's just going to turn brown in a few months.
That is a great observation. And I think we probably all have been on projects like that where you do start out full of hope and you're looking forward to it. But without the right foundation, you can very, very quickly get in bad shape and have bad decisions to live with. So it's always good to keep that in mind and even move forward with the brownfield, with the existing applications and improve them and increase that flexibility. That's a great point.